Hey, I'm Kerry.
And I'm Kelsey.
And we're with Best of U.S. Homes, and we're here to introduce you to our wonderful city, Birmingham, Alabama. That's right here. Birmingham was founded in 1871, and yes, it is named after Birmingham, England. And it's because they're both industrial cities, okay? Birmingham was started really as a result of this valley being a wonderful railroad. Actually, it was before the railroad. The really start of the city are those smokestacks over there. That's Smosh Furnace. What they found in this area was that it was good iron ore. We're standing on Red Mountain, and it's called Red Mountain because of the iron ore. So they shipped the iron ore down there to those furnaces and turned it into steel, and then it went out to the west end of town and was fabricated into various kinds of steel. So, okay, what about, don't we have a statue?
We do. The statue is the Vulcan Statue, and it's the largest cast iron statue in the world, and it's the city symbol for Birmingham, Alabama. It reflects its roots in the iron and steel industry, and it's 56 feet tall. The statue depicts the Roman god Vulcan, and that's the god of fire and forge. Construction started in 1903 and it was completed in 1904.
And that's right on the other side of those trees. Now let's talk about how the city developed. Again, if you can envision, we've got a city here where we're creating iron ore, or smelting iron ore. So we're creating a lot of pollution, and it's being trapped in this valley. So what happened is the working class people moved to the east of the development, and that formed communities that we now call Avondale, Forest Park, and Crestwood. Okay, and then there was a tremendous influx of African Americans from the north because of the work that was available here. They moved to the west of this, and it's called West End. So that's how the city then developed. Now, as you can imagine, there's a tremendous amount of smog hanging there. So what does this go? This is over the mountain. Okay, so we're on Red Mountain. So those people who could afford it moved over the mountain to avoid the smog. Okay, and so our more upscale neighborhoods are located on this side of the mountain. I'm going to do something. I'm going to turn the camera around, and I'm going to show you an example of what some of the houses that are up here look at like. They actually situated themselves so that they could see the smog and see the city, but were not a part of it. So that's kind of how the city developed. Now, right now, what would you say the appeal of Crestwood and Avondale is?
The appeal of Crestwood and Avondale would be the cottage-style homes.
Okay, which I call craftsman homes.
Craftsman.
Okay, so that's probably, if I were born in Birmingham, which I wasn't, that's where my parents would have lived. And they would have been working class people. And now what is happening is through gentrification, my children, would have been my children, are wanting to move back into there. They want smaller homes, they want bigger life, they want to be in the city, and there is no pollution now. As you can see, it's a pretty clean city. Okay. So then the development, let's explain how the development of the city occurred. Down Highway 280, and we have three communities here, Mountain Brook,
And
Homewood, and Vestavia Hills. Okay? Those are going to be your more upscale neighborhoods. Then the development went on further out, and Hoover developed.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about Hoover.
Hoover, you have the prominent communities there. You have Ross Bridge, you have Greystone, and Greystone is more along the line of 280.
And then you go up Oak Mountain, and you've got another gated community, and that's called Highland Lakes. And let's talk about how they developed, because we do have some gated communities that are built around golf courses. You've got Liberty Park, Greystone, and then they aren't, and then Ross Bridge is around the Robert Trent Jones course, but it's not gated. It's a more open, it's an upscale community, certainly, with a pool and tennis courts and all those sort of things. And it's got a resort. Yeah, so that's out on the far west end of town. Now, Mountain Brook is our premier community, if you will. It's the wealthiest community in the state of Alabama, and it has the best school system. But it's followed closely by both Vestavia Hills and Hoover. Okay, so
situated somewhere, I would say, in the middle.
Yeah. Now, you might ask yourself, what about the topography? We are actually in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. So, in fact, if you go over into Georgia, you can start the Appalachian Trail that goes all the way up to Maine. And so we have a community that grew out of the steel industry, and basically the city was deserted residentially until, 7 years ago?
Yeah.
And now over on this side, the west side, you have, they took over Railroad Park, which you spend a lot of time at Railroad Park.
I do, with my baby, my son.
Okay.
A lot of time there.
What is Railroad Park like?
Railroad Park, it is exactly in the name. Railroad Park is at the central of Birmingham, and that's where all the railroads meet. That's where they turn it into a park, and they have events there locally and quite frequent often. And it's amazing. I can go on and on, but we will talk about that soon.
Yeah, we're going to do another video on what we call the three E's: education,
entertainment, and
economy.
Well, we're covering a lot of economy now.
Yeah,
so.
but we want to focus as much as we can on the neighborhoods.
Yes.
Let's talk again about the gated communities. Liberty Park actually has 21,000 homes, and Greystone is
21,000.
again. Then there's a small community that I really like called Lake Heather. It's on a lake. It only has
67 homes.
And then Highland Lakes, as you go over Double Oak Mountain, that's about 2,780. And then if you go over another mountain, you'll find Shoal Creek, and Shoal Creek is
692.
And that's our real premier golf course and very exclusive gated community. So that gives you some idea about the layout of the city, why it is laid out the way it is. It's a wonderful place to live. I moved here in 1987 from Louisville. Before that, I lived in Indianapolis. And we're going to do a third video on about the pros and cons of living in Birmingham. And one of the things, and I'll tell you up front right now, that I think the big pro is its proximity to the beach, to Savannah, Georgia, to Nashville, to Knoxville, to Atlanta. And we'll talk more about that in another video. But
it's very convenient to get to other states. I would say no more than maybe a 2 to 3 hour drive to each state. And then also our railroad track, tell them how far it goes.
It goes from, if you go southeast or southwest, you can go to New Orleans. And I know from experience you can get to Washington, D.C. and then on to New York City, because I've done that several times. Last time I did it with my grandson, and I'm just getting too old to ride.
I've actually ridden a train from Birmingham to New Orleans twice. So
okay. Yeah.
I love it.
You love it.
I do. I think
it's very economical.
Yeah, very economical, and it's just, I had a lot of time to read, and it was good.
Okay. All right. So that's your first look at Birmingham. We will do some more, and we hope to be able to meet with you and help you find a home. Again, I'm Kerry.
And I'm Kelsey.
We're with Best of U.S. Homes, and we'd love to help you find a home in our city.
And also be your tour guide if need be.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Have a great day.